Every movement, every joke at the Academy Awards is meticulously planned. It is an environment built on strict behavioral norms and high glamour. But when that script fails, the consequences are impossible to contain. During the 94th Academy Awards, comedian Chris Rock took the stage and delivered an unscripted joke targeting Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia, comparing her shaved head to the movie G.I. Jane. Sitting right in the front row, just feet from the stage, were Jada and her husband, Will Smith. What followed happened in plain sight. Smith abandoned his seat, walked onto the stage, and struck Rock directly across the face. In the United States, the network muted the audio to censor the profanity, but international feeds kept running, broadcasting the raw, uncensored altercation to millions of viewers globally within seconds. Within seconds, the technical and social architecture of the broadcast failed. Hollywood's most protected stage became an unscripted crime scene, leaving the producers to manage a live crisis without a fallback plan. The immediate aftermath was surreal. Smith returned to his seat, shouted profanities at the stage twice, and the broadcast simply continued as if an assault hadn't just occurred. Less than 40 minutes later, Smith returned to the stage. He was awarded Best Actor for his role in King Richard, receiving a standing ovation from a crowd that had just watched him commit battery. During his 6-minute acceptance speech, he apologized to the Academy and his fellow nominees, but he did not apologize to Chris Rock. Confronted with celebrity power, the institution froze. This sudden paralysis created a vacuum of accountability, pushing the crisis out of the Dolby Theater and into the hands of the public, the media, and the law. The most immediate dilemma was legal. The Los Angeles Police Department was already stationed outside the venue, prepared to walk in and arrest Smith for misdemeanor battery on a global broadcast. But the legal pipeline stalled. Chris Rock explicitly declined to press charges, effectively stripping the police of a cooperative victim and stopping the criminal prosecution. With the police stepping back, the burden fell entirely to the Academy. Their administrative response was slow, taking days to announce a formal review while the public demanded immediate action. Facing immense pressure, Smith preemptively resigned his membership. Days later, the Academy's Board of Governors handed down their punishment, banning him from all Oscar events for 10 years. Institutional governance moves rigidly. When confronted with a rapid, high-profile physical altercation, traditional systems lag behind, leaving the public to adjudicate the fallout in real time. Knowing he needed to repair his image, Smith's initial strategy relied on immediate accountability. The day after the ceremony, he posted a text-based apology to his Instagram account. But written statements do not always stop professional bleeding. 4 months later, Smith released a highly produced, direct-to-camera YouTube apology. This timeline charts the gap between the assault and the video apology. That 4-month delay leans on a concept in communication theory known as chronemics, the strategic use of time to convey meaning. Smith used this gap to distance his current reflective self from his past impulsive self. He specifically titled the video "It's Been a Minute" and used phrases detailing the personal work he'd done and the months replaying the event as proof of maturity. In modern crisis management, saying "I'm sorry" is rarely the final step. The strategic deployment of time acts as a necessary buffer, making an apology appear authentic to an audience that demands evidence of change. While Smith managed his PR, the rest of the culture fractured. Comedians expressed fear over a new precedent for stage violence, and comedy clubs nationwide began increasing their security. Simultaneously, a massive debate over masculinity erupted. Some viewers defended Smith's actions as the protection of his family, while experts and critics condemned it as toxic masculinity. A third discourse focused on the joke itself. Critics pointed out the cruelty of mocking an autoimmune condition, sparking conversations about the historic lack of protection for Black women in the media. The footage acted as a cultural Rorschach test, exposing pre-existing fractures in the public's understanding of free speech, physical violence, and racial protection. The fallout turned into a battle of patience. Smith faced immediate professional damage, enduring the delayed release of Emancipation while grappling with a shattered public persona. While Smith attempted to regain narrative control through apologies, Chris Rock chose a different tactic: absolute public silence for an entire year. Rock held on to his response until he could deliver it on his exact terms. He partnered with Netflix for their first ever live global streaming event, a comedy special titled Selective Outrage. By waiting to monetize his retaliation on a global platform, Rock shifted the power dynamic. He transformed himself from the victim of an assault into the victor of the cultural narrative. The Oscars institution will permanently carry the scars of that night. The Academy was forced to create dedicated crisis communications teams, and the slap became constant monologue material for future hosts. A 3-second impulse generated a decade of legal bans, months of theoretical PR maneuvers, and years of debate across every major media platform. In our hyper-connected landscape, a momentary lapse in physical judgment cannot be contained. It instantly fractures into a permanent media event that rewrites the legacy of everyone involved.